everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be listing out 6 books that I think every Muslim woman should read. So the first book that I have is called The Path to Self-Fulfillment by Sakina Hirschfelder. I'll get her last name right someday. This book is such a great book. Like, I was reading it and it was like just perfect timing for me. And this book basically goes over different topics of like finding self-fulfillment within yourself, and then finding self-fulfillment within God, and then also it goes into depth about forgiveness and about taking care of yourself and your relationships and how to communicate, how to discover yourself more in your personality, and how to intertwine that with your worship. And it's just a really, really great book. I mean, I tabbed this so many times. I had a lot of just good things about it. So yeah, like it goes, for example, into depth about personality, background, self-improvement, optimism, stress relief, and then it talks about relationships and how to communicate, how to forgive. And so there are a lot of good topics in this book that I feel like, you know, and really anyone can read this, but I feel like especially for Muslim women to read this, because she does mention like hormonal cycles. I really enjoyed reading this book because I feel like I was able to kind of look at myself from a different perspective and see how else I can discover myself more, and how I can also like intertwine that with my worship with Allah. And also I really loved the chapter about forgiveness. I feel like that is like a big thing for me. So again, I feel like every Muslim woman should have this book. It's just a great book to just go back and reference if you ever want to really get to know yourself a bit more, or want to know how to start getting to know yourself more, and especially in the direction of worshiping Allah, then this book is for you. The next book I have, this is like every Muslim woman should read this. If you have not read this book, I'm worried and I'm afraid of you. You're scary. It's The Secrets of Divine Love by Helwa. This book is just a masterpiece. Like, I don't know what else to say. Secrets of Divine Love is a great book to strengthen your relationship with Allah. Not only does the author go into depth about the love that Allah has for us, but also goes into depth about different aspects of the deen that intertwines us with his love. So like, for example, tawbah, repentance. He loves those who repent. Shahada, you know, saying la ilaha illallah, or just even taking the shahada. And she also talks about death, and she also talks about your heart, and just so many different things. And she includes like Quranic verses, Sunnahs of the Prophet ﷺ, poetry, and other like religious mystic people within this book. Literally leave this book feeling so loved and so like just wrapped up like in a big hug. The language and the way she writes is so easy to read. Like, anybody can read this. And even though yes, it is like a pretty big book, but I'm telling you, once you start, you won't want to stop. And then once you end it, you'll feel like, wow, like you just feel so transformed. So the next book that I have is called The Muslim Woman's Manifesto, 10 Steps to Achieve Phenomenal Success in Both Worlds by Kashmir, Maryam. This book, again, another favorite of mine. Absolutely love it. It was such an easy like read, like really quick read, and the chapters are short too, which I love. This book will definitely show you the balance between how we can still embrace our, like, well, not the balance, but just how to be a Muslim in current times, and how to still hold on to our faith and not to be so wobbly with it, because there's a lot of like, you know, outsider influences that can easily deter you away from the path of Allah. But in this book, Kashmir Maryam offers a lot of advice and a lot of good tips on how to just be a strong Muslim woman in today's world, and how to hold on to your deen, and how, not only how to hold on to it, but also how you can use your talent and use your innate gifts that Allah has given you in order to like provide good to like, you know, the world and stuff. The thing that's really great about this book is that at the end of each chapter, she has a action exercise. So for example, this one, what was this chapter about? This chapter was about a clean house. And so like the first exercise, it says list all the things that make you feel negative in your life, whether they are individuals, objects, or situations you find in yourself. And then step 2 says write next to each one of the above points something that you can do to turn that thing or experience into something that makes you feel happy. So yeah, that's just like, for example, that's what it says here as the action exercise. And she has this for like all her chapters, and 10 chapters. So yeah, like 10 chapters. I mean, it doesn't even look like there's 10 chapters, but I'm telling you, they're short, they're easy, and the exercises too are really good to do. So again, you should have this in your collection. Great book. This one is, again, every Muslim woman should know her by now, but if you don't, again, I'm worried and I'm scared of you. And that is Yasmin Mogahed, Love and Happiness, and this is a collection of personal reflections and quotes. This book doesn't really have per se a like a direction or a plot, but it's just more so of just reminders. Really, like, this is a really great reminder book, and I say this is the great book for a Muslim woman because it's just like really short. One, two, Yasmin Mogahed, like, her writing is just phenomenal. And the book is full of this, like, it's full of just, it's reminders through her words, but I feel like the way she just says it, it really hits, and it's just like, it makes you just want to reflect. Like, you read it and then you're just like, wait, let me think about this. I need to like just absorb what she's saying, like really sit with it. Another cute thing about her book is that she has like pictures too. So like, for example, this is one page, and then let me show another page. Oh yeah, this one's so pretty. Look at that. Look how gorgeous it is. And then there'll be like a page where it's just like, you know, regular background, but then she'll have like pictures too. So yeah, I just think, again, it's such a great book, and it's really, again, easy to read. Honestly, once you start, like, you could easily finish this within a day, but I think it's just one of those books to have, especially if you're like feeling really low, or if you're not feeling the greatest. I think this is a great book to just pick up, flip through a random page, and just sit with whatever you've just read. Next book. So this book, I was kind of a bit, I don't know, I was kind of a bit hesitant to include this book within my Ramadan video, because there were some things in this book that I didn't necessarily agree with, but when I really thought about it, I'm like, okay, you know what, there's some good in this book, and honestly, I have benefited from this book. I may not agree with every single thing that's mentioned within this book. I still think that this book has value and can offer value to like every Muslim woman. And funny enough, it's called You Can Be the Happiest Woman in the World by Dr. Dr. Adi al-Qarni. I'll just say Dr. al-Qarni. There we go. So this is the book, You Can Be the Happiest Woman in the World. And this one, again, I liked it. It was like, see, the thing is, there was a lot of good points. I did enjoy it. But it was just that there was some other aspects that I didn't necessarily agree with. But regardless of it, they're still good in this book. And I, again, highly recommend that every Muslim woman should read this, because the chapters in here, again, are like really short. I mean, again, you can just pick it up, flip through a random page, read it, sit with it, really absorb it. And it does give a lot of good advice, like from the Qur'an, from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and also from other prominent women within Islam. So again, I think this is a really great book. I mean, look, like, this is one, and then literally the second. So like, they're really not like, yeah, see, third, literally, like, every reminder in this book is like a page and a half. Like look, this is like literally 2 pages, 5 and 6. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be like an easy read. There's a lot of great stories in here that kind of made you reflect on like your own life, and kind of makes you think like, oh, okay, like you can look at your life through a new lens from reading this book, and just go through life a bit much more relaxed and just happier and a bit more content with what you have. So yeah, definitely this is a great book. Every Muslim woman should get this. So the last book that I have, this book I've had for such a long time, and to be honest, when I first got it, like through Sunday school, and I was just like not about to read it, because I'm just like, don't tell me what to do. But like, I've phased out of that rebellious stage, and I've given this book a chance, and honestly, reading this book has been like one of the best things I've done for myself, like as far as self-care goes. Like, this is my self-care book, and that is The Ideal Muslimah. This is by Dr. Muhammad Ali al-Hashimi. Hashimi. This book, The Ideal Muslimah, kind of self-explanatory, but it basically just goes over how to be the ideal Muslimah. The chapters are broken into like the Muslim woman and something else. So like, the first chapter is about the Muslim woman and her Lord. Second one is about the Muslim woman and her own self. Third is the Muslim woman and her parents. Then the Muslim woman and her husband. So much good like stuff. Like, there's so much good stuff. Like, again, verses from the Quran, hadith from the Prophet ﷺ, and there's so much mention of different women within Islam, which I really love about this book. Like, it's not only about like, you know, from the Quran and from the Sunnah, but it also mentions like examples, like women examples of like different types of women, of how like they've, you know, sacrificed themselves for Allah, whether that's through, you know, service of their family, service of their parents, service of their own worship, how they took care of themselves, how they were just bold in asking any type of question that they had to the Rasulullah ﷺ. And it's one thing to like kind of say like, oh, Muslim women should do this, this, and this, but not offer any examples. But this book does a great job of offering a lot of examples and a lot of different names of different Muslim women. Like, some of them I've never heard of until reading this book, and I'm just like, wow, like, why didn't I learn this? Like, you, again, new to Islam, or you just want to strengthen your relationship with Allah, or you just want to strengthen yourself as a Muslim woman and build up your strong Muslim identity, then this is, again, a great book to start reading. Okay, so that is it for this video. Those are all the 6 books that I have for you all. If you have any other book recommendations of books that you think that every Muslim woman should read, then please write them in the comment section down below. Oh gosh, I was out of breath. But yeah, so that is it for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time.